Hello and welcome back to another Mr. Robot Monday. Sorry for the lateness. I was trying to get everything set up ahead of time. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So I went ahead and picked a box. It is called Cozy Hosting. Went ahead and booted it up and everything. I was trying to save a little bit of time, but it looks like I was still, kind of late. Whatever, not a big deal. So I went ahead and booted everything up. It is an easy box. It is a Linux box. I've actually gone through a lot of these retired machines, and so I'm kind of working my way through all of the Linux boxes first, and then eventually I'll go back over to the Windows boxes and kind of work my way through those. It just kind of helps me to stay in that mind frame for these live streams because obviously I don't do this, type of stuff every single day. I mean, I do study a lot, for it, but actual hands-on, I'd like to just kind of maintain that that mind frame with it. Let me see. Having to adjust my audio and everything. All right. Anyway, so we have a target IP address of 10.10.11.230. So we'll go ahead and copy that over. I can move this out of the way into my other screen. Let me attach it. There we go. All right, so went ahead and started up the VPN. As you can see here, we're connected to Hack the Box's network there with a IP address of 10.10.16.17. So the first thing that we're going to do is run a nmap scan. I don't think I'm going to run all ports. I'm just going to go ahead and run this, and we'll do dash nmap.txt. Oh, wait, we need tech O, sorry. So we'll put that output into a file, txt file there. Go ahead and let that run. All right, so we got two ports, 22 and 80. Let me just run a little bit of a further look into that if I can type today. There we go. We'll just enumerate it a little bit further. See what kind of stuff we can find here. So I actually started working on this studio down here, painted all the walls that you can't see, unfortunately, right now. We can kind of see part of it back here. Started painting the walls. I still have to do this whole back wall and, get all of that stuff put together. So it should look a little bit nicer here soon. All right, what do we have here? So it's running Nginx 1.18.0. Looks like we have a domain here of cozyhosting.htb. So we'll go ahead and add that to our etc host file. Since our DNS is not going to point to that, we kind of have to do it manually here. So we'll do sudo nano etc hosts. Type in our password there. We'll just put it in here. What was that IP? So 10.10.11.230, and that is cozy host or cozyhosting.htb. We'll hit Control O to save, hit Enter to write to the etc host file, and then Control X to exit out. All right, so let's visit that website. And actually, we'll just, where is that IP? There we go. I thought I had it copied still anyway. I'll just go to the IP. It'll redirect us anyway. All right, so cozyhosting.htb. We offer modern solutions for growing your business. Host a project of any size and complexity with Cozy Hosting. It is lagging on me a little bit. Get started. Oh, I guess it's not. It's just dropping it down. That's fine. Check our pricing. So it's your basic, default website setup here. Email info@cozyhosting.htb. Nothing really crazy. We do have a login page here. Let's try admin or admin password. Let's see if we can get in there. Invalid username or password. Completely fine. We can look at more stuff. Let's see. Let's try admin password. Nope. Okay. So they're gonna make it a little bit of a challenge here. Trying to think what else was there on here. Oh yeah, let me check the original page here. And we'll just view the page source because sometimes you can find subdomains really easily within here. If you hit Control F and then you type in href. On legitimate websites, this is one way you can find certain subdomains that might be linked very very quickly. I have seen this on some of the hack the box boxes before, but not always, but it's just a quick little thing to kind of go through. So as you sit there and go through each thing, if you notice, there's a subdomain, so something dot cozyhosting.htb, that'll let us know that there's a linked subdomain there that we can add that to our Etsy host file and then try to visit, to log into or whatever. All right, so we'll just scroll through here. I'm not seeing anything. I think I went through it all already. Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, nothing on there. It's just a thing, sometimes it saves you time rather than running a subdomain, brute force, or like running a password list, or not a password list, but a word list for your subdomains, where you can just find it, right here. But there is nothing on this one. So what I'm going to do now is go to one of our directory buster tools. I'm probably going to use dirbuster just because of the GUI. And we're not running, multiple at the same time and stuff. So this is completely fine. So our target URL is http cozyhosting.htb, running on port 80. Sure, I'll do go faster. Let's grab that password list or word list. I keep saying password list. Definitely just a word list. So we'll go to user share word list, and then I will use, nope, not derb. I need a derb buster. We'll just use this one and see what we can find. Let me expand this out a little bit, hit start, and we'll just let that run, see what we might be able to find here. So we knew about the login already. There's an assets page. Might be something there, might not. If we don't find anything, we can kind of jump into there to see if there's any kind of vendors being used that might have, some kind of vulnerability. While that's running, I'm just going to keep taking a look at the website, see if there's anything else that we might be able to see, which I didn't really see much in here. If we don't find anything from this too, I'll try, subdomains and whatnot. Oh, somebody said this seems familiar. I think I took a crack at it at some point. Yeah, this is going to be one of the retired boxes. Unfortunately, I can't do the brand new ones here. Otherwise, I'd be violating the terms of service for Hack the Box. I'm not trying to get banned from there. So all of these are retired. More than likely, you've done probably quite a bit of these if you do them all the time. I haven't done these yet, so like the ones that I'm actually doing, I haven't done. Eventually, I'm gonna run out of boxes to do, but not there yet. I'm just working on all of the easy Linux ones right now. Let's see if this returns anything of interest. I might actually try a different word list too, because sometimes the word list is basically everything, right? If your word list is good, you'll find better, enumeration results. If it's horrible, you're not going to find anything, right? I found that out during my OSCP study. It, I would use, a couple of different word lists and it just wouldn't have anything on there. And then I don't know, maybe like an hour after trying to get into a machine, I finally used a word list that had the correct words on there for me to use, and everything was completely easy after that. So word lists will definitely make or break you. If you have your own setup, definitely keep updating that as you go. Let me click buy now, see if it'll let me enter anything. Nope, it sure won't. So you can see that by that pound sign up there, or hashtag, depending on your generation. Whole lot of nothing here. This may not be going fast enough. Let me try. Well, let me look here. Nothing really there. Yeah, let me try a different program altogether. It seems to be running a little bit slower today. I'll just try Derb then. Since there's no GUI, it's going to run, quite a bit faster. So we'll use that medium, I guess, and then we'll use what is this? Cozy hosting. .htb. I'm a little surprised that nothing popped up even with Dirbuster. But this may not be the avenue. Like I said, if this doesn't work, I'm going to check out subdomains too to see if there's any of those available. Man, Instagram seemed to be having issues live streaming. It just wouldn't let me pull the trigger on it for some reason. I don't know if I got like a weird account ban or something, or if they're just having issues. So if you are trying or did try to tune in from Instagram, I do apologize for that. It's kind of out of my hands. It was on their end, not mine. Whoops. And once this gets going, this will start running a lot faster than Dirtbuster, because sometimes the GUIs, man, they'll take up your resources. Obviously, they'll freeze everything up. I didn't allocate much to this VM. One of these days I will. One of these days I'll just update it to have a lot more memory, but just not right now. I don't think it's quite necessary for that. I'm actually going to look at a couple more things to see if we can find, version numbers of things in here that we might be able to leverage. Actually, where is Nope, not that. I'm just going to see if there happens to be an exploit for this. Yeah, I don't see anything readily available, so probably not. All right, well, once this thing actually goes, we'll be able to see something, hopefully. If not, I'll just start with the subdomains. Dear God, I might have to use a different program. uh, the initialization period for derb takes a little bit because it's actually running through this entire list, prepping it for everything. So I might actually use another one that's called FFUF. Uh, it doesn't have that initialization period. Once this goes through all of that, like it's usually like stupid fast. But this waiting is a little bit irritating. I guess that's the funny part of live hacking, right? You get to see the trial and error. It does take a long time sometimes. Most of the time, I finish these easy ones on the live stream just because they're easy. But once I actually move into like the medium difficulty and the really hard ones, it's probably going to take quite a few days, right? Like I may have to pick up on a couple of days just for one. It really depends. I've been stuck on quite a few before. All right. Yep. Screw this. I don't want to wait anymore. So I'm going to use FFUF. We'll use that same thing here. This will just automatically start running, so it'll be a little bit faster. As you can see, you can use it for all kind of things. I was using it for another subdomain thing there. Trying to remember the syntax for it. I believe it was. So this is for subdomains. Like this is how you would do the subdomains. I'm trying to remember. I might have to chat GPT it or look it up. Somebody said I got into the habit of using GoBuster, but I'm trying to use FFUF more often. Yeah, it's the same. Everybody has their favorite tools, right? Like you're always gonna go to we're creatures of habit, so we're always gonna fall back to whatever we're more comfortable with. Uh, yeah, it's good to venture out into other tools. It's just I didn't take many notes on this, especially during my OSCP studies and stuff like that. So I don't have that readily available. That's why I kind of dread using it sometimes. But it is a very powerful tool. Stupid fast, like I said. So yeah, we're just gonna take a look at it. And it looks like, okay, so it's going to be -u. So for the subdomains, I had -h. And then it shows like where to fuzz for that, but we don't need that. And whoops, what did I do? We don't need that section here because we're not looking for those subdomains. So we'll go ahead and type in our cozy hosting cozy hosting.htb. We don't need this, but I will add in threading our concurrent threads. So we'll do -T for the threads, and we'll do 100 just to see how that handles. Okay, what did I do wrong? There's something wrong here. Oh, I didn't designate a fuzzing place for it, actually. Let's try that. That'll work. Okay, now we're getting some stuff here. So we had the login, but it looks like there's an admin panel, which I'm surprised I didn't come up with the Durbuster. It's kind of odd. There's a logout. There's an error. Let's check out the admin. Okay, so there's, oh, it just takes you to the login. Huh. So it just redirects you. So there's a logout, and there's also an error. Let's check out this error. White label error page. This application has no explicit mapping for /error. So if you're seeing this as a fallback, there was an unexpected error. White label error page. Let's Google this, see what kind of program might be running this. When you run a Spring Boot application, huh? No, is that something with an exploit? Let's see. This is very, very laggy. Let me pause this for a second. Spring Boot vulnerability. Spring actuators. What is this? I like hack tricks. I always go to here, especially when I didn't take notes for something quite as well as I should have. They have everything pretty much listed out for you to try. Some pretty amazing stuff there. Key point: Spring Boot actuators register endpoints such as health, trace beans, environment. Versions 1 to 1.4, these endpoints are accessible without authentication. From version 1.5 onward, only health and info are non-sensitive by default, but developers often disable the security. Certain actuator endpoints can expose sensitive data or allow harmful actions. So dump, trace, log file, shutdown. Oh, wow. Mappings, environment, actuator, environment, restart, and head dump. In Spring Boot 1X, actuators are registered under the root URL, while in 2. Whatever they are under the actuator base path. Let's see if Let's see if they're under this base path in this, since it seems it's using Spring Boot. Actually, oh my God. I'm about to use my Google Chrome instead of this. Like, this keeps lagging it out like crazy. So actuator won't go to anything, but it's also saying that this is under the base path. So let me try it with one of these, like actuator dump or trace. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Oh, same thing. Let me try some of these other ones. I don't want to shut down. Let's try mappings. Oh, there's something. Okay, so that worked. Let's see if there's any information in here that we can use though. Said Firefox is a memory hog. Yeah, man. It definitely is. One of the main things I like on it though is being able to use this Foxy proxy. But like I said, I don't have much memory allocated to this. Like, it's a lot less than what you would normally use, but it is what it is, man. Sometimes I'll just use my Windows, Google Chrome to kind of look things up. But actually, I can go ahead and close that now. But that was pretty sweet that it had these actuator endpoints. Now we just got to see if there's any information in this, because this is a whole lot of information. 90% of your hacking is either waiting on a scan to be done or to parse all of the information that you receive, like parsing through that and trying to figure out exactly what can be useful, what is not useful. Foxy proxy works on Chromium as well. Yeah. Yes, correct. It just came default with Kali. So once I had to boot this up real quick, it was already there. I still have to install Chrome and everything on this. I just haven't done it with this one yet. Would love it if I could get that working on something as. I'm not sure what that is. What is NYXT? I don't think I've heard of it yet. Is that a Linux distro? List-based browser. Okay, cool, man. I'll have to check that out. Let me actually type that into my notes here so I can check that out, because I have never heard of it. All right, I'm not really seeing anything useful here. Whoa, what was that? Thought I saw a password hash or something. Mm-mm-mm. I wonder what kind of stuff we can even find from this. Okay, so there's different endpoints here that we saw from the other site too that said it would have like mappings. It said beans. We couldn't visit the actuator uh, root endpoint there. So we can check out some of these too. So actuator slash env. Okay, so the values are all hidden. Not able to see anything there. Let's go back. I think seclist has a word list of Spring Boot endpoints. Let me see. Actually, well, I mean, we have them here. It's showing me what they are here. I don't know much about Spring Boot at all. I just went to that website and it was talking about having these endpoints here. So, but it looks like it has a list of everything here. Sessions. Let's try sessions. Okay, we got something here. K. Anderson. And unauthorized. That's probably me. Is that a cookie? Let me see. Cozy hosting HTTP, right? So HTTP. Let me go to this login. Actually, yeah, let me go to the login real quick. K. Anderson, right? Yeah, K. Yeah. Yeah, so that is okay. That is me for unauthorized there. Let's try and change that to hers or his. I don't know if it's a male or female, but oh, whoops! I probably should have gone to admin. Messed that up. Bruh, why can't I use this? Feel like I'm missing something really stupid here. Hmm. Bruh. Why can't I use this cookie? Feel like I'm using it in the wrong place for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, it changed. There we go. That's why. I'm such an idiot. All right, let me try this real quick. There we go. Jesus, man. I was like, why isn't this thing working? It's because it changed. Alrighty. So it looks like we're in a cozy cloud. K. Anderson's. Okay, so it is a guy. Anyway, not that it matters, but keep your host patch. 3 hosts require your attention 30 minutes ago. So all of these links just go back to this page. Nothing we can really do there. Host name, test, username, K. Anderson. I don't know what this does. So include host to automatic patching. SSH could not resolve hostname to test. Temporary failure. Okay. Hmm. All right. So whenever you come across these fields, generally your methodology is going to be: does it have a SQL database that you know of from the error messages that you're receiving? So if so, why don't you go ahead and test for some kind of SQL injection? Anytime you generally have things like this, it's going to be some kind of injection, whether it be SQL injection, command line injection, things of that sort. So if you look at the OWASP top 10, you'll be able to kind of go down the list and test these things individually, or you can run scripts to automatically do it. Entirely up to you and your approach on that. If you are studying for OSCP, recommend manually doing this because you can't use automated scripts such as like SQL map and whatnot. So if this does have some kind of SQL injection vulnerability here, it's best to practice that stuff manually first, and then move on to using something like SQL map. So we'll just kind of test some of these things. I'm actually going to test some command injection here just to kind of see if maybe that'll work. I'm not sure. So we'll do a series of different things to kind of test it or whatever. So one of the things I like to do is have whatever it is, reach back out to me or to if we can do like an internal thing, right, where we can see what kind of files are on this system, things of that sort, right? So the first thing I'm going to do is have it reach out to me. So we will do a simple Python server here on port 8000. So we'll have that running and we'll see if we can reach out, using some kind of like wget or something like that that might be built into the server here. So I'll try the host name test again. I don't know if I'm supposed to be using some kind of format here. Let me see. Yeah, this all just comes back to the same thing. So I don't know what kind of like format it's supposed to be, but it says like host, suspicious, whatever, boring, whatever. So I figure the host name would be test, right? We could probably use some kind of other format, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it has to have 2 words or something. I have no idea. But we're gonna play around with it. We're gonna figure it out. All right. Check the stream here. Okay, we're still good. So what I'm gonna do, let me try wget. Maybe I don't. So we'll do K Anderson again, and we'll see if this works. So wget HTTP. Our IP address is 10, 10, 16, 17, and we are on port 8000. And let's see if we can try that. Username can't contain white spaces. Did it hit us? No, it did not. Okay. So hostname test, username K Anderson, wget. So there is a little thing. Let me pull it up because I don't remember what it specifically is. See, bypass white spaces. Regex. Yeah, so there's a certain little command you can run, and there it is. It's called so it's IFS. So it looks like this. I couldn't remember the name of it, but this is a way to bypass that white space issue, right? So if you can't have anything that contains white spaces, we can't have just a space there. But we have something that kind of acts like that using regex, which is IFS. I forget what it stands for. Let me see if I can pull that up too. Let me see what it is called. Internal field separator. So that's what IFS stands for, and it's basically just a bypass, like a quick little bypass for this white space thing. I've used it tons of times, especially with my OSCP. Usually with command injection, that's something that you'll need in any kind of web application firewall that might be running with it. If no white spaces are allowed, just kind of use that in its place. And you can actually URL encode this too if needed be. But anyway, so we'll try that again. So wget and then HTTP. Whoops. We'll do 10, 10, 16, 17, port 8000. And let's try and run that. Whoa. Execute SSH. Okay, so something happened. Maybe. I don't. Resend. Well, let me try. Well, let me try doing it to itself. So we'll point it to home. Let me see if test works there. Invalid host name. Okay. We'll try this. Host key verification failed. Okay, so it looks like it's picking up itself. Let me try that and see if we can't like peek at something here. Or I'll still try to hit it back to me, and if not, I'll try to see if we can find like an internal file or something with it. What was I doing? So K Anderson. There we go. Let's try that. No, still nothing, huh? Let's see if it has any. It may just not have wget on it. If this is working, I don't know yet, but we'll try. So we'll do. Choose try test. Okay, yeah, we got something there. So test at. Wow. So we got something there. I don't know why it's showing up like that. Huh. Okay, so there is command injection here. We just got to figure out how to essentially manipulate it to get us what we want, and obviously, to get a reverse shell. So what I'm gonna do is look up rev shells. Revshells .org or .com? I think it's .com. There it is. If you're not familiar with this website, I always brag about it. Oops, I got ChatGPT open there too. Always brag about it using your IP address. You'll input here. Actually, I think it's still the same. So yeah, IP address and port. We'll do 4444. And then you can just copy a listener and set that up. And then you can also do reverse shells, bind shells, MFS Venom shells, Hoax shells, whatever kind of operating system. You can do Python, PHP, like simple bash one-liners, PowerShell. Literally has everything there that you can try. Really, really awesome tool. This is where I generally go to whenever I'm trying to make a reverse shell. Because I know it's already there, right? So we'll use, I guess, a bin bash shell, maybe. Let's see. I'll just use the first one to kind of work my way down, I guess. So we'll do nano sh. Actually, I need to let's do nano sh.sh. We'll paste that in there. Control Alt. Saved it. So now if we cat sh.sh, we have our reverse shell in there. we'll need to open up a listener. So we'll use netcat nvlp port 4444. We'll let that run. And I'm not sure why it showed up like this. Like this may be an issue for us to like or grab this. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let's see here. Anyway, let's see. Let's try this again. So K Anderson sh.sh. Let's try that. Let's see if it actually got it. See, that's odd. Like, why is it? Do I have to have a host name in there? That's really odd. Like, I don't know why I have to have a host name in there. Or, I mean, why it's coming up like this. Because generally when you send a GET request, like it would just do GET/this, but now it's doing GET, it's doing that plus at home, essentially, which is what our host name is. Very, very odd, and I'm not sure how to bypass that. I may have to use some Googling. Let me test around with this a little bit. Invalid host name, but nothing hit. Very odd. Very, very odd. I'm a little confused. I might have to figure out something else here. Maybe we can do internal. Let me try internal. And this is why Google is my best friend. Let's see what we can find here as far as, because I have never seen a GET request come across like that from command injection. I'm wondering. Let me see if I can just terminate it. Let me try this again. Let's see if we can just terminate it. Just like how we started it. Let's see if we can terminate it. There we go. Okay. So it doesn't continue the script, but that's good for us, right? So let me try getting that again, except we're going to see if it'll execute for us. So we'll pipe that into bash to see if it'll execute for us and close that out. Now, where is our listener? This is what we'll need pulled up here. see if it works. Nope. Username can't. Oh, because I had I did have a space there. So we'll pipe that into bash and then terminate. Nope. Might have to find a different reverse shell, and that's okay. I mean, we can essentially just go down the list there. Oh, wait. Actually, I need to add in to make this a shell script. Let me pull up my notes. I keep forgetting what to put in here. There we go. Let's paste that in there. So we'll make this an actual script. That way it can go ahead and run. So we'll save that output. And let's try this again. See if this works. Hopefully. So username K Anderson. And we will pipe that into bash and then terminate. No, something's wrong here. Is it pulling it though? Yeah, so it's definitely pulling it. It's pulling it correctly. Trying to think. Trying to think. Because we might need to use a different one. Or I can just make it into a one-liner there. Maybe. Control O, exit. And I'm just spitballing here. This shell may not even work. I might have to get a different one. We're just kind of playing around with it. See what works, what doesn't. So it's definitely pulling the file, right? So if we can get this to auto execute, that'd be freaking phenomenal. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, it looks like it's hanging up on something there. So this shell may not work. Not a big deal. We can just go down the list, find another one. Actually, let me just copy in the same one that I have here anyway. So I just took one that I have from my notes, and I'm just going to see if this one works. Because generally, whenever you have to run that reverse shell at the same time that you're pulling it, it has to be in a certain format, which is what I'm trying right now. So we'll see if this works. And this is why you take notes on everything too. If I didn't have that note there, I'd still be scrambling trying to find. What did I name that? I named it shell.sh. No, still nothing. Very odd. Very, very odd. Let me try running curl, because curl should execute too. Okay, Anderson. Shell.sh. Let's try curl. So curl worked. I wonder what W get. Wouldn't it kept making it hang up? I was about to try all the different reverse shells there. So curl was able to make it auto run, which is beautiful. So let's see, who am I? App. So we're in the /app directory there. We are the user or service thing app. Cloud hosting. So we have a jar file there that's owned by root. Oops. So there's a user Josh in here. Can't get into his stuff. Let me strengthen that shell a little bit. App at Cozy Hosting. Okay, perfect. So now we can kind of see like where we are within the directories there. All right. My first thought is to either run linpeas. If you're not familiar with linpeas, it's a very powerful privilege escalation tool. They have it available for Linux, Windows, and Active Directory. So Active Directory add peas, Windows has WinPeas, and then Linux is linpeas. So it has different operating systems available for that. Alrighty. So we do have a jar file there. I'm gonna take a look into that because I'm not able to get into the home directory. Obviously, I won't be able to get in the root directory. Actually, let me see. Cat. Ooh, I do have some kind of access. So there's Josh. So it's running Laurel. Josh seems to be the only account on there, other than root, obviously. So we'll take a look at that jar. What is it? CD/app. Cloud hosting. We'll need to unzip it, right? -D, and then cloud hosting -0.0.1.jar. Is it not -D anymore? -D, extract files into what do I have access to? Apparently I don't have access. We'll put it in the temp file then. Oops. Yeah, I definitely don't have access to this folder, so that's why it's not letting me save there. So unzip -D, we'll do /temp, and then slash cloud hosting dash 0.0.1.jar. Why is it? What am I doing wrong here? I need to pull up notes on how to use this thing too. I'm doing something wrong. Something's not right here. It should be in the. Let me see if I have access to temp. I cannot type today. Okay, so I don't, but I do have access to. No, I don't. I need some kind of folder that I have access to so that I can read and write. Am I able to make my own folder? Let's see. Okay, there we go. So I had to make my own folder with it. I didn't have permissions. Holy shit. There's a lot of stuff here. Wow. Let's go to temp slash what was the app? Meta info. Boot info. So it looks like there's a SQL database running on port 5432. It gives us the username and a password for it. Let me save that. Uh-oh. My Kali just froze. Oh, there we go. Nope, it froze again. It's freaking out. I can actually close this now. I don't really need that. Everything's freezing. This is great. Might have to restart. It is completely frozen. Oh God, there we go. Maybe. Is it gonna let me? It won't even let me select any. Bruh. Well, all right. It looks like I might have to restart. That is not fun. I think mousepad broke everything. Oh, there we go. Okay. Nope, maybe not. Come on, man. This is ridiculous. This is frustrating. Oh, there we go. Okay. Don't save. Why is this? All right, whatever. That works, but this doesn't. I don't understand what's going on there. What in the world is going on right now? All right, I gotta restart this. Let me see if it'll actually let me restart. There we go. That is wild. I apologize for this. Seems to be taking a lot of time, but absolutely wild. But, you know, Kali Linux is not meant to be a stable platform for like everyday use. So stuff is going to happen from time to time. Completely normal, completely fine. All right, let's try and log in. We'll need to reestablish that connection. We'll have to go through the exploit again. Great. Let's close out some of these. And I missed that password. All right, let's connect to the VPN. So we'll go to desktop. Get our VPN going. There we go. And it was cozyhosting.htb. Go to that login. Oh, wait, it was actuator, right? Sessions. We'll have to redo the session here. K Anderson. Copy. There we go. So we are in there. I'll need to set up a listener. I'll also need to set up a Python server. Got those, and then host name. We used this, and then we used K Anderson, and I actually used curl to execute that. So it looks like it went through. Where is the other one? There we go. All right. Now let's strengthen that shell. Copy this from my notes. And we were, where were we? We were in the temp folder, app folder, boot dash inf classes and we have a password here for this SQL database. Did not mean to open that. Let me go ahead and close this out so don't waste a bunch of resources there. And let's hope Mousepad doesn't freak out on me. There we go. So we'll save that password. Let me pull up notes. I'll have to pull up for this SQL database login. I believe it's, I'll need to pull it up. I think it's PSQL for this Postgres. Let me try it, PSQL. PSQL, and I think it was like login. No, this is why I take notes. You got to remember the syntax for everything. Okay, so it's -H for host. So -H, and this is going to be 127. So this is going to be home, right? And then our user is Postgres. No, not you. Oh, it's a capital U. And copy our password here, and let's see what this database has for us. Alrighty. Let me actually expand this a little bit. Okay, so it's not going to expand it anyway. All right. All right, so we have name. So we have, there's a cozy hosting there. So let's connect that. Okay. We need to dump the tables, right? So DT public. So name, we have hosts and users. So there's not many tables there. So let's do select all. Where is the asterisk? All. And we'll do from the users. Okay, so we got an admin user or password here and a K Anderson password. So let me grab those hashes. Actually, let me grab them one at a time there so I don't confuse myself. And so we got this one is for admin. And let's see if they do any password reuse here. Oops. This one is K Anderson. Anderson. There we go. Smaller. Lowercase. Sometimes that matters. Sometimes it doesn't. And actually, I'm going to try and put this into crackstation.net first. So if you're not familiar with CrackStation, it's kind of like using a rainbow table, right? If they already have a hash that's been cracked, you just paste it in here and it'll spit out, whatever it was found to be, whatever the password was found to be. So we'll just paste that in there, let them know I'm not a robot. Okay, so that's not in there. I think it said unrecognized. Hash format, so maybe this won't work either. Not a big deal. We can run either John the Ripper or Hashcat, which is what we'll do next. So which one do I want to use? Hashcat. I don't know. We can use either or. Yeah. All right. We'll use Hashcat. That'll work. Anyway, so we need to find out first, like what kind of hash this is with the, this right here is essentially going to tell us, but we'll copy this admin one and we'll use Hashcat's hash ID. Analyzing it. Wait, I think there's something else I'm supposed to type in there. Some kind of parameter. Actually, let me try doing the quotes. Because it says analyzing A, so I have a feeling this $2 does something to it. So we're just gonna add in that. There we go. Okay, yeah. So it did something weird there. So this is Blowfish OpenBSD bcrypt. Okay. So actually, let me see. We'll try Blowfish. Actually, we'll try bcrypt first from the bottom up. Let me pull up my notes for Hashcat. Password cracking. Hashcat. Alrighty, so we'll do Hashcat. Oh, there we go. So we use rocku.txt. So we'll need to figure out what mode to put it in. So let's Google Hashcat bcrypt mode. All right, so found a random form there. So somebody said M3200 to crack a bcrypt hash with assault. So we'll give that a shot. So we'll do M30. Oops. 3200. We'll need to save this to a file too. So we'll just put it in this one. Save as a.txt. That'll work. And we'll see if we can crack this thing using the RockU word list there. Oh, I thought it finished that fast. I was like, man, that was quick. So it's still running right now. Hopefully we can crack it. If not, not a big deal. We can try the other one. Well, it looks like we got a password out of it. Manchester United. I'm actually going to test this to see if it works. So let's go to cozy hosting.htb. We'll go to admin. We'll need to log in as admin. So it did work. We're just not able to log in as an admin on there. So that is the correct password. That's cool. So let's see if they do some password reuse here. I believe the only account on there was Josh, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check that again. In our shell here, we can actually, quit, exit, okay, and then cat Etsy password Josh. Yeah, so let's try and SSH in as Josh using that password at cozyhosting.htb. Yes. Password is Manchester United. Okay, so that is Josh's password. Let me make a note of that. And Josh. Cool. So now we have access as Josh. Let's go ahead and get that flag there. So we'll cat user.txt. So an hour and a half in, and we finally got the user. Copy that. We'll go to our Hack the Box page here. Put that in, get those points. That was, I'm going to say that was a bit hard, man. Like there was a lot of working parts there that we had to go through. That was not an easy one. I was hoping it would be because I'm starving right now. Definitely want to go eat dinner, but want to finish this too. But yeah, I was hoping it'd be a little bit easier, save some time, but whatever. Let me put that back in the, that's fine there. Anyway, all right. So now let me take, now I kind of want to run linpeas, but I always do sudo-l first when I have the password, which is Manchester United. If you don't have the password, I mean, you can still try to run this, but generally you'll need a password for things like this. So we do have permissions to run something here. So I can run SSH as root. So let me go to GTFO bins, which is an awesome website, by the way. SSH sudo. This is GTFO bins. If you haven't seen it, really cool webpage here. It has all of the privilege escalation for the different binaries that might already be installed with the machine, right? So if you have, like, say, sudo privileges and you have a certain binary for the sudo privileges, you can go in there, select it, click on sudo. For you have different types of permissions for it. You can find privilege escalations through that. So right now I search the SSH binary because we do have privileges to run that with sudo. So we click on that, and it gives us this command to run here so that we can spawn an interactive root shell through the proxy command option. So let's go ahead and copy that. We'll try it. Might need to edit some things here. Don't know. Actually, yes, I need to add in user bin SSH before I run that. So because it needs to be correct. So let's try running this. And we just rooted it. So who am I? And you can annotate, or you can see that, I am root from that pound sign there, hashtag, whatever you want to call it. But just wanted to pull up who am I anyway, see that, we actually rooted it. So I will go to the root directory and we will cat root.txt. Okay, that part was extremely easy. Just going through the basic methodology there. If I have a password, this is always going to be the first command that I run when I'm trying to privilege escalate on Linux. Always, always, always. If I don't have the password, I'll usually save that and I'll just run something like linpeas, which I can show you guys it's been on some of my other videos and stuff like that, but then I'll just run that. I'll try to figure out what my avenue of approach, my next steps might be. Because it gives you an idea of everything within that system. So cool. Let me add this to my hack the box. I don't know why this keeps popping up. I didn't click on this. Stop it. All right. Paste that in there. Submit. Oh. This one was piece of cake. Like that was your basic generic run through methodology. It probably couldn't have been any easier than that. Awesome. But this, man, wow, we did a lot here, right? So we ran our nmap scan. Just to recap, so we ran our nmap scan. We found out ports 22 and 80 were open. We checked out the web server running on port 80. Found out it had a login page. Couldn't really find much with there, so we ended up running a directory scan, directory brute force, and we found this page with the error, which actually was /error. They gave us the white label error page, so we Googled this, found out it was running Spring Boot. Googled Spring Boot, found the hack tricks page that said that it has different endpoints, different directories and whatnot that you can view. And it's called actuator endpoints. So we found one that says mapping, found another one that said beans, I think, and then another one that said sessions. And then it actually let us look at the active sessions for Spring Boot, which involved a cookie. So we took that cookie, used it, got into that session as K Anderson, found the web page of actually, let me just pull it up real quick because I can't remember what it's called. What was this? Actuator sessions. So yeah, we found that cookie, cozy hosting. We'll do login. We found that cookie, replaced ours with it, and then went to the admin page. There we go. So we found this cozy cloud admin dashboard thing. This is what I was trying to think of. I couldn't remember what it was. But here for the connection settings, you were able to add a host to the automated, update whatever software that they're running. So we played around with this. I was gonna try SQL injection of some sort if the command injection didn't work, but the fact that it had a host name there and it was talking about using SSH and everything through there, I figured I would try command injection, which I was right. We ran the local host name there, and then we ran a username, which actually we tried wget, which wget was reaching back out to my machine completely fine, but I wasn't able to download and automatically run anything with wget. So I actually tried curl. Thankfully curl worked and I was able to actually get a reverse shell from there. And then from there we found, actually let me go back to cd/app. So we found this .jar file that we extracted, we unzipped, and we unzipped it to the temp/app directory. And then we went into, the boot info or INF. There we go. And then I just happened to go into classes. And then we saw this application properties, so we cat that out. And then we saw that it had a username and password for the SQL database that was running. We logged in as that. Found a database in there. We dumped its tables. Found a password hash, actually 2 of them. We only cracked one. One for the admin, which we cracked using Hashcat to get Manchester United as a password. And we tried it on the only user account there to see if they do password reuse. Josh did. Josh failed his security assessment. Bad on Josh. Shame on Josh. Don't be like Josh. Don't reuse passwords. Don't use the same password for everything. Use different passwords for any kind of anything, right? Password managers are really, really important for that. So don't be like Josh. Anyway, we were able to SSH in as Josh, and then we ran sudo-l to see what Josh could run as sudo. And we found out that Josh was able to run the SSH binary as sudo. So we hopped over to our handy dandy GTF Obins website, typed in SSH, typed in or clicked on the sudo part, and then essentially ran this command. We had to alter the file path for it, but completely fine. Ran this command, and then we got root. Whole lot of stuff there. This was definitely not an easy box. So if you have tried this and you failed or didn't quite make it through, don't kick yourself because this was ridiculous for an easy box, especially like the initial foothold and everything. That was just ridiculous. I feel like I just got lucky on a lot of that. But anyway, yeah, so that's it for today. Hopefully the studio will be up and running by next week. We'll see. I'm still kind of painting and everything down here, but hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see more of, and I can see if I can set up some custom labs. If there's anything specific that you all are wanting to see. I know somebody had mentioned something about Wi-Fi hacking. I'm really good at Wi-Fi hacking. That was probably one of the first things that I've learned like how to do. Especially WPA2. I've started working on some of the WPA3 like concepts and whatnot too. So I can definitely set up one of those labs if anybody's interested on that, and I can actually do that on another day. But in the meantime, go to savagehack.com, check out the blog, share with your friends, and look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a good one.